Hey guys, welcome back to Texas Reloading Room. Right now it is Wednesday morning and hopefully I'm catching up on videos. I've been uploading quite a lot recently. The editing and the uploading and the rendering takes a lot of time. One of the videos that I rendered yesterday, I believe it was the AR lower assembly video. I put in a good 2 hours of editing into that, and when I went to render it, I set it up overnight. It took 4 hours, so I've got a little bit over 6 hours just of prep into that video, not including the time that I actually sat at the bench to record it. But this morning, really quick, I just want to go over something with you. This is a shotgun that I picked up. It's a Stevens 20 gauge, and it's a Model 94C. Now, I paid like 30 bucks for this, and the reason that I got it so cheap is because it was sitting at a shop, and it wasn't a gun store. It was sitting at a shop, and the shop basically said, yeah, this gun does not work. I'm like, why does it not work? And they're like, it's missing a firing pin. The barrel's also a little bit pitted. Let me see if I can show you here. This is a really, there we go. I don't know if you can see any of the pitting in there. It's not bad enough to worry about birdshot and maybe even some buckshot just to test fire. The firing pin, I got a replacement. And it's really not all that expensive. I'd say with the test fire ammo and the firing pin and everything I've got, including the cost of this, about 40 bucks in it. I'm going to show you real quick how to install a firing pin into one of these old shotguns like this. So let's go over to the bench real quick and see what we're doing. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to do is just go ahead and disassemble this. Now these are really easy. Provided there's nothing messed up inside here, you can simply take it and pull it off just like that. And as you can see, this is kind of what hooks onto this right here. Next thing you do, open it, and it'll come right out. So the barrel, good. We can set that to the side. The main thing we're going to be focusing on is right in here. So let's go ahead and go over to the vise and clamp this in. Okay, now first step, I would recommend go ahead and angle this down so the front is facing down, because we're going to slide the firing pin from back here. It's going to go in just like that. Now there are 5 things that you're going to need to accomplish this. Number 1, you're going to need the parts. So we've got the firing pin here and the retainer screw here. A pick, just like you see in every single one of my videos. You'll need a very small flathead screwdriver. A standard hollow ground bit set is not going to work for this. So what I'm using is just something like this. I think it cost me like 10 bucks. It's made primarily for fixing eyeglasses and computer parts. Very valuable investment for working with stuff like this. Now they're not incredibly sturdy, so you might break one every now and then, but that's okay. And last but never least, I'm going to use some blue Loctite. And you'll see why in just a minute. So the first thing is the firing pin, and you see it's got a flat spot in it right here. That is going to go up. Now this can be a bit tricky, so you just got to have patience on it. And if you do like I did it, you just dropped it in. Now, I had it in before. I took it out to show you guys because I needed to do some work on it. I had not Loctited it yet. So another thing you can actually do, and before you guys freak out, this vise has felt on the jaws, so I'm not going to mess up any of the metal here. Alright, hopefully that'll let you guys see it a little bit better. And we're just going to tinker around with it until we get it in that hole. Actually, it might not hurt to tilt it a little more straight up there. Okay. I can't see the angle that you guys are seeing, so let me check. Yeah, we got the firing pin in the hole. Perfect. Next thing we need to do is go ahead and make sure that our flat point is on the top there. And it looks like it is. Excellent. So Next, here's the screw that holds it in place. You can see there's a slender end. The slender end goes in. So I'm just going to apply a drop of my Loctite onto the tip there. My Loctite's been sitting for a while, so it is a bit thick. You don't need much. Okay. Start it in by hand. And then screw it down. And the reason that we're putting Loctite on this, I'm going to screw it all the way down until it touches the face, and then we're going to back it out. Okay. And the reason for backing it out is we want that firing pin to be able to move freely. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Now, once you've done this, I don't recommend going out and shooting it right away. I would let it sit for a minimum, I'd say a very bare minimum of 2 hours. But if you can let it sit for a day, that's going to make it even better. Because you don't want that screw to work its way back out. Hey guys, I'd like to talk really quick about one more thing we're going to go about repairing on this Stevens Model 94, the 20 gauge. I did go out and test fire it. Firing pin's working great. And one of the things I did notice, I'll go ahead and put this, it is empty, in here, just like that, right? Close it. When I open it back up, it doesn't come out. So we need to put the ejector piece in there. Let me go ahead and get this piece of brass out and go ahead and bring you over to the bench, and I'll show you the 4 pieces that we're going to install in this. Alright, so this process won't take but a minute. What we're going to go ahead and do, disassemble. We don't need that, and we don't need this. This is going to go over here for now. So what we're going to be doing is going to be right around the chamber end, and there are 4 pieces. So there's our 4 pieces. We've got the ejector, and the only reason they call it an ejector is because it pushes the cartridge out. It doesn't pull it out. Here's a retaining pin for the spring, and then here's the pin that actually retains the ejector. So it's super easy. It might take just a little bit of strength in your hand, but it's really not bad. So the first thing we're going to do, take these 2 pieces here, insert the slender end into the spring, and then we're going to make sure this is folded down just like that. And then we'll insert that into there and lift it up just a little bit, but you don't want it to go all the way to the other end right here. So that ought to be good. Next thing we're going to do, our ejector into the hole here, and this is where it's going to get difficult because we've got to put enough spring pressure on that to get that seated until this clicks onto it. So we'll push it in. Okay. You know what? We can probably just do this over on the vise right here. So let me try that real quick. See if that'll help at all. Okay. Oh. Okay. Go. All right. Now, as you can see, it's just right in there. And the next thing we want to do, take this pin. This is a retaining pin to make sure it doesn't come out, and it's going to go in this hole right here. And so basically all we're going to do to finish that up Go ahead and push it into place. I'm just going to go ahead and use a vise since it's what's here. And it could use a little love tap. Just a tad bit more here. Let me go ahead and get my... That should be good. Let's go ahead and reassemble it and test it. First things first, as always. Just like that. And this. Alright, everything's good. Now, I will go ahead and tell you, I have put this in before. I took it apart just so I could show you guys. Now when it's open like this, it should be sticking out. That is normal. It's what it's supposed to do. So go ahead. That's as far as that's going to go. Close it up. And it is going to push it enough for us to pull it out. Different ammo might actually eject out and fly off, but you know, it is what it is. Our hammer's cocked. On an exposed hammer shotgun, especially one like this, never leave the hammer cocked. You will over time weaken the components in this. So what we're going to do is very gently release it. And right there, all we got to do is sit around and wait for a few hours and this thing will be good to go. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any other questions about this or any other firearm, please let me know down below. But until then, I'll see you in the next video.